traps
Yep.
and stuff along those lines. So it's not going to hurt anyone, but I mean, it will make noise, you know, so long as no one decides to see them.
Yeah.
Attention to the map.
Decides to see them.
I mean,
I choose to see.
in this case, it's
I
going
don't
to
think
have
you've
to be,
ever
I choose
chosen to
not
see.
to see.
Are you checking for traps?
In the
No,
meantime-
I'm choosing to see.
Oyeko and Johnny, are you guys explicitly trying to find different inns, or are you just going to the same one you guys have been going to?
Let's go to the same one. Yeah. If Johnny doesn't want to come to the same inn, that's just like excellent. But like, you know, I bumped into 2 other people I didn't want to talk to, and it wasn't that bad. I just frowned at them.
So, you guys have been staying at the Friday house, which has only 4 like quad rooms or a common room, so not excited.
Not
Being
excited
able to be
yet.
quiet. I mean, are you guys going to buy a quad room?
No.
Just alone?
No. Us on our loans.
I mean, there are no solo rooms. That's not a thing that exists at that place.
Yeah, it's like a common room, yeah? You said? Yeah, I that. Sure, yeah. I will take a place in the common room away from Johnny. It's simple.
Yeah, it's fairly easy because the common room is practically empty. It's basically you two and like 3 other people, and the common room can easily fit a good like 30 people. So the other 3 do at least seem to be not the same group. It seems to be 2 of them solo. 2 of these seem to be warriors of some sort. It is 5 copper for a night.
Okay. Alright. How much was the eye patch?
I mean, how fancy an eye patch do you want? Because, like, you can literally just get a little square of cloth with things around it so that you can attach it to your head. And
yeah.
that's, like, a copper.
Yes, but Johnny was going to silver for it.
I mean, are you spending a silver for the crap eye patch, or are you spending a silver worth of eye patch?
I'm spending a silver for the crap eye patch. Johnny overpays.
10 times the actual amount of the item.
He always rounds up. So what is up to him?
That's a little bit over rounding up.
Rounding to the nearest silver.
Yeah, or gold. If it's a silver-based transaction. Platinum if it's a gold-based transaction. I guess so. He hasn't had any platinum-based transactions. Or does he really have jewels? Gotta say.
They're kind of rare. So I will go ahead and roll for roll, but you guys need to give me some checks because you are at the edge of kind of safe territory.
Right. Checks.
Well, I'm going up by 2 each time.
Good job, Theo.
Oh. Roll it, okay. There we go.
Good job, everybody.
Okay.
From all together,
what
it's
do you
18.
think the
That's pretty good.
least likely watch for people to attack on?
Depends on if they're
And
nocturnal.
then creature and most of the 3.
Is
Same
it
as the
when they're
most
least likely or most likely?
Least likely.
Whoops. I chose 1.
Mo, nothing
Hi.
happened on your watch.
Oh, phew.
Well, let's find out what moons are out tonight. need to figure out how many moons there are, actually. Yeah, that doesn't super matter. Thing, hands, help, please. There we go. So it's actually a black night tonight.
No moons.
Well, then I can see, which means it's only Parlock.
No moons.
Luckily for you, nothing does happen on your watch, Mo. And the time comes to wake up Ngube.
I don't. No, I'll wake up with me.
I don't. I'm gonna watch all night.
Goes to
And
bed.
Ngube looks at you
waking up.
when they wake up in 4 hours at the end of your watch and goes, man, what the hell, man? Come on.
Yeah,
No,
and go.
you do go to sleep,
"Tell
but
you
you
what."
don't wake up the next watch for, you know, a little extra spice.
Or what I think I do, I'll stay up for 2 watches, then I'll wake them up for 3rd watch and pretend it's 2nd watch. They get a little suspicious when the sun comes up, but
True.
maybe it's just one of the weirder moons.
What kind of generated human name is this? I have a name that's Theodord.
Here's what you really.
I've seen Theodore before, but what the heck is Theodord? Look at this
That's
freaking
when you
name.
Theodore someone.
Look at this name.
Yeah, Theodore.
Come on.
I've got a really good
It's
idea.
the action of Theodore. Past.
He's a Theonord.
Oh, that's so bad.
Alright, here's what you do, guys, when you have 2nd watch. Is the second you wake up for your watch, you wake up the next guy and say it's 3rd watch now. And then go to sleep.
I agree.
Wow, this watch
It's
is
okay.
taking a while. Huh. By the time they realize it'll be 3rd watch anyway.
And then they wake you up and say, hey, bitch, it's 3rd watch.
And it's their watch.
I don't think they'll be that receptive to that argument.
Why ever not? They signed up for 3rd watch. So they should
True.
watch it.
Yep. Eventually the morning comes to your guys' watches. It is a quiet night. In a lot of ways, at least for you, Cuvée, unsurprising. You're still near enough to a frickin' settlement that it's, like, barely risky to get that close. Even with ongoing offensive going, you know, defender battles. You're only a day out. The morning also comes for you, Enrico and Johnny. It is time to go boating.
Huge.
Boat we go.
We're entering the boat dimension.
Eh?
That's the best dimension.
It is.
It's full of boats.
Get me out.
Oh, yep. You guys head to the ship so that you can board along with the remaining cargo.
Don't refer to us as cargo.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard, now get in the hold.
Oh no, you guys are working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
you are introduced to the ship's captain, who was massively inebriated when you guys originally met him. He is apparently known as Captain Gabbard. The other two who were kind of talking with him and setting up this whole trip were the militia captain, who is known as Crochet, and the merchant, who is Sir Coward. Which I just realized is freaking
Coward.
perfect.
Sir Coward.
It is a brilliantly set up name for what he is, but it is not how you think it's spelled. The rest of the crew is, I mean, mostly humans, along with, of course, the ship captain and those other three. They're all humans as well. There's a handful of wood elves, but this ship is almost entirely human, which is kind of strange, especially for the colonies, which is pretty heavily mixed between dwarves, humans, and wood elves.
Good ship.
You set out. It's going to be a while before you get anywhere close to the other area. Especially because they're going to, head up to kind of the bottom of that area, not to the islands. So you guys are kind of traveling right from, if you look at the world map. I should just put it on a freaking page. I don't know why the heck I have it in a freaking file. But you're going kind of from the northern tip, right where that little peninsula comes out, that kind of little area under that. So you're going from basically there all the way around up to where basically the B is in the White Gold Bastion. So it's gonna be a little ways, because if you remember, it was about a month and a half to get from the 10 followers to where the colony is. And yeah, it's about that, and this guy's ship is not nearly so fast, so it's also gone through significantly more treacherous waters since they were able to kind of hang near the coast for most of the trip, except for the crossing itself, which was only like a couple weeks of the whole trip. But this one, you're going to be out on the open waters for the majority of it, which means, well, pirates and monsters. Both of which you guys have signed up to help deal with.
I can't wait for Team A to be eaten by a kraken while Team 1 gets killed in the woods by goblins.
Then we get to have the epilogue of what happens when Cook wins.
Don't worry, we already know we're getting that epilogue. We've known that for the past, like, fucking 12 sessions.
The writing is more than on the wall.
This name generator is so bad. Freaking hell. I gotta use something else. I'd rob aid.
It's a good human name.
It's gonna be a while before you guys make it to anywhere really interesting on the boat. So. Guve and Mo. Sun comes up, and you guys are able to travel onward. And about a quarter of the way through the day, so kind of later in the morning, you see, well, another troop of freaking militia.
Wave.
Add.
Yep. One of them, like, kind of waves back. They're set up in a kind of a similar thing to what you saw when you helped out fighting against that, like, small goblin incursion, where they have a small amount of breastworks that they're kind of built into, along with a, it's not really a tree fort, but more like a sniper's perch built into one of the nearby trees.
Yeah, military tree fort.
Yeah. So yeah, a couple of them wave back. They seem to be, at the moment, most of them are just kind of lounging. The guy up in the, well, perch is keeping an eye out, but even they seem to be fairly chill.
Alright. Ask and make sure that we are in fact on the right track.
It seems that you are. They're kind of one of the outlying posts back this direction. And the reason, of course, they're so freaking chill is they don't think anything is going to come this direction. Mostly because they're going to have to get through everything else first. So.
We'll have to get around it.
Yep. But they haven't seen anything like the last week. So. They do tell you that the line has moved a little bit, but it hasn't moved like enough that it's going to even take you another day. And that you'll reach the at least main encampment the last time that the runner came, about another 3 hours.
Thanks.
And of course they point you in the right direction.
No. Thank you for the help.
So,
Keep going.
yep. You guys are able to make it another 3 hours to a, well, small base. It's not really built up, it's more encampment, but there are a lot of militia members here.
They're all goblins, though. Weird.
I start stabbing.
Just walk into an encampment, it's all just goblins in militia uniforms with guns.
We're here to fight the goblin menace.
Good.
Us too. Man.
You know what? As long as goblins are dying, whatever.
Think about it. If goblins are fighting goblins, that's double.
Yeah, that's actually the ideal scenario because it means no
Yeah.
matter who wins, a fuck ton of goblins are dead.
Yep. You guys are easily able to make it into the camp as you look enough like a militiaman that just come on
That's
in.
how I look like one given I fucking am one.
Okay. So, yep, you're able to get into the camp and get easy enough directions wherever you need to go.
I guess where I can get information. So in my case, it's actually probably to a barracks. Because it'll be easier to get information there than any official information.
Yeah, they have a few barracks set up because they literally have enough militiamen here that they kind of need to set up more than that.
Yeah.
It's an effort that is at least the few of the major settlements as well as some of the surrounding towns. So they're at least a couple thousand strong.
God damn.
Mm-hmm.
I think I understand why all the major engagements have ended the way they have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not really fighting. These guys are set up to fight battles, and the enemies they keep coming up against are set up to fight against skirmishes. So it's not really all that surprising. And now that you've seen the numbers for what they are, yeah, you can see why the battles haven't been going the way that they should be going. Why the scouts are probably getting picked off. Because it's actually winnable.
Which is interesting, because they're actually using the exact opposite tactic they used a significant portion of the time when they were on the back foot. It's just the situation has flipped 180 degrees.
Well, keep in mind, this area is also being led by a dwarf who fight in very different ways from commanders, such as Feather might be fighting.
Yep.
As even around the encampment, you can see more, not firmly permanent structures, but more firmly permanent structures than normal camps probably should. Kind of think along the lines of a Roman encampment where they would have actual.
Yeah, you're starting to hit the point where actual breastworks and things like that, but not a full
Yeah.
fucking brick
It's
wall or anything.
temporary, but not as temporary as you're going to be moving out the next day. Temporary.
Yeah, this isn't a 2-foot tall wood palisade.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you're able to easily route your way over towards one of the barracks. And it's, well, the one you happen to walk into is fairly full, mostly of people sleeping. But there's, of course, a couple people up and about. Mostly the elves.
I mean, I'm more or less just gonna try and get a better idea of what's actually happening. If they have an idea as to where there are, like, concentrations, like why the fuck there's 1,000,001 moon touch fuckers about. Things like that.
Well, I mean, they've come into a couple of concentrations, but they're small goblin settlements, effectively, and they were easily run over. Which isn't surprising this close to actual colony borders. Yeah, there's always little goblin, you know, settlements popping up around here that are easy enough to smash. As for the reason that so many moon-touched goblins have kind of showed up at the same time in the same area, that one's still out, as most of the goblins that have been captured have, well, not survived. Either due to just battle injuries kind of taking them, or the goblins literally killing themselves. So, yeah, information on that's a little spotty. Because these goblins in particular seem particularly zealous.
Good to know. And now I'll probably just spend like the rest of the day trying to get as much information as I can get my grubby little mitts on. Whether that's through official channels or unofficial, doesn't really matter to me. Probably a mix of both.
Unfortunately, of course, it's really very light.
Yep.
I mean, these guys seem at least in good spirits, which is positive, but it's not all that surprising. They've been crushing every encounter they've been coming into, so...
The enemy is winning. We've got to counterattack.
There's not very much concern over the let's just murder all the freaking women and children that we come across quite yet. As, of course, some of the settlements are just normal goblin settlements, kind of like the one that you saw.
The war criminal aspect hasn't quite caught up to their psyches yet. Good.
Yeah, but this has only been going on a month. Excuse me. Yeah. So, it'll take a little longer for that to really crack most people's psyche, you figure.
Alright. I guess I think the other thing I really want to know is to get a better idea of where Feather is, because I have a feeling they're probably going to have slightly more information for me than I'm going to get here.
Yep. As with the scouting problems, of course, runners between Feather's forward offensing group, or as the people call it here, the kind of forward scouts, and of course this particular encampment, which is kind of the main hub. There's other smaller encampments that you've seen along, or things that you are told about along this kind of area. Yeah, it's been pretty rare. There's, you know, a few wood elves and a couple of lucky humans that have been able to slip in and out, but the majority of them don't come back.
Good.
So, it's assumed that they're getting ambushed, and some plans of sending along, like, actual teams along with the runners are in motion, but haven't been fully, like, okayed yet. And from the sounds of things, it's mostly due to Weatherhawk's indecision on that one. And his dislike of wasting forces, in his words.
I will bring up the idea that maybe having all of your runners die off would count as wasting forces, but...
I mean, you're not talking to him, you're just talking to other random guys.
No, I'm bringing that up.
Don't seem exactly happy about it either.
I will ask a question that I'm sure I will regret. but which will probably get me some good information. Where would I go to volunteer to be a runner?
They have an area set up for it.
And I would go to
Their
there, hey,
communication tent.
hey, we are currently trying to track him down. While we're doing that, I can attempt to run a message, and I'm probably a lot better at running than most of these fucking schmucks. You know, a nicer word. Actually, probably not that much nicer words.
Yep. I mean, they're not totally willing to just hand over like critical information, but they at least give you a few, a scroll case full of information.
Yeah.
True, most of it is probably low importance, but it's at least information. So
Yeah, I'm just trying to help out the war effort.
Yep. In the meantime, what are you doing, Mo? You're definitely garnering looks, just kind of following Hale around.
I mean, that is what I am doing. I'm following him around. Maybe mumbling, not a goblin, not a goblin, I'm not a goblin.
I mean, with Rawl next to you, it's kind of obvious that you're not a goblin.
Not a
Because you look more like Rawl than a goblin. And she definitely seems to stand up for you, even if it's just a raised lip once in a while.
Did you know that I'm like a northern goblin, but
Don't call yourself a northern goblin.
Those actually exist, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's why I would interject with that.
Because they actually have, well, northern goblins, New World goblins, and Old World goblins all look different. No one really knows why. But so they are going to go ahead and send you out at, well, later in the day, effectively.
We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
I'll also try and figure out whether or not my other commander's here, specifically just to tell him to get bent.
He is part of this effort. He is not in this camp.
Damn.
He is in one of the other outlying camps.
Alright, if you see him, pass on a message, tell him to get bent. He'll know who it's from.
You're giving that to someone in particular, or you're just saying it to some random freaking other militiaman?
I said to whoever fucking I was getting the information to run from.
Alright. In the meantime, Ayeko and Johnny, you guys are sailing.
Yes, sir.
It turns out, on this ship, being a guard has more responsibilities. How much knowledge do you guys have with the whole sailing thing?
I mean, a decent chunk.
I know Johnny helped on the other boat, but I don't know if I remember correctly.
I'm also not sure if that's what we've been hired for at this voyage.
I mean, ostensibly
what
you
you
were
thought
hired
you
as
were hired
guards, but
I mean,
on this boat,
obviously-
apparently guards have more responsibilities than just standing around.
Oh, yeah, of course. But I meant, like, I imagine they would not ask us to do anything that would require expertise.
Yeah. Well, they basically tell you to help, hold
Scrub the deck.
lines that need to be pulled and other things that require a degree of strength. They're not gonna have you scrub the deck. They look down on you. You're not quite that looked down on, so.
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win.
Yep. The first day is fairly dull. You are just keeping close to the shore, trying to get around the horn, so it is mostly a lot of running around and pulling lines at times when the captain yells at you to do so. On the next day, however, things get a little more exciting as you cross into open waters, and well, the seas decide that they don't feel like being nice anymore, and a small storm kicks out. Thankfully, you're just off the coast, so the storm is only... Like, it's pretty easy to just weather by moving back into the land, but it does slow you guys down, unfortunately.
Allied forces have captured a
On the next day, it thankfully breaks, and you guys are able to finally
Pick up
start
the
traveling.
pieces.
Next few days are boring. It's just more water, because there's basically nothing to look at. You guys are too far away from land to see any of it, and there's apparently no pirates on this particular route. At least not this close to shore. And no sea monsters.
That's good.
So, how are you guys spending your time? Because you're not always having to run around pulling lines and tying rigging and other ship things.
I'm just enjoying the fresh air.
Yeah,
I like
looking
the sea
out
water.
over the looking out over the sea.
I'm doing it on the opposite side of the boat from Johnny.
I'm doing it in profile because I've only got one eye.
That's true, by the way. I will be making a conscious effort to try to be staying on the side of Johnny that he doesn't have an eye.
What's the word for the opposite of claustrophobic?
Agoraphobia?
Claustrophobic.
Claustrophilic? No,
You like small spaces.
I imagine once all land is out of sight, after a few days, Johnny will kind of get freaked out by that.
Yep. And of course, once again, in rations, after about a week, they do offer... Well, actually, these guys would just have it in their rations as standard. But they have citrus of some form, whether that be limes or oranges or something along those lines.
Is everyone else eating them?
I mean, yeah.
Alright, probably should then.
Do you just not remember things?
When has this happened for Johnny?
Before you died.
A couple of times.
I think there's only one time, and it was with an orange, wasn't it?
It was with an orange.
Yes.
You say these are these oranges?
Sometimes.
Allied forces have
I would not have an orange one, but I don't know why I would
Yeah,
suspect.
they have the weird,
weird
football-shaped green ones and yellow ones, too.
Yeah, those are.
Which most
clearly-
people don't just, like, eat. They usually just put it in to, like, kind of squeeze it on the bread or other things of that nature.
Johnny sees a lemon and goes, and takes a massive bite just to die of fucking anaphylactic shock.
Yeah. I'm guessing you learned pretty quickly that those things are bad to try and eat.
Well, I'll try it.
I guess go ahead and roll a con save. See how many days it has you down, if any at all.
And that one, you actually just die.
Well, you are sick for the day, at the very least.
I am deathly allergic.
You're deathly allergic, but thankfully not that allergic to fail and just die on the spot.
How sick would that be, though? After all
It's
this.
fucking funny.
After all
Imagine
this.
after all this, he died to an allergy he already knew he had.
Thought I was
Johnny
just
gets
allergic
sick enough,
to-
I'll just use the opportunity to give him the boot overboard.
Smother me with a pillow.
What's that? Oh, I didn't know I was meant to call man overboard when someone fell off. Alright, well,
He was no
next
man.
time.
He was no man.
Oh, I know I'm supposed to
Duh.
call man overboard, but that's not.
Do I have
true.
to every time, though? Just like watching him drown in the water?
No, you don't.
Yeah. The weather holds as fairly clear, the wind blows hard, and you guys make good progress. As a note, you guys do notice that there are kind of a select group of sailors, a much smaller group than the rest of the crew, but definitely kind of a cohesive one in some ways, that seem to do significantly less than even like you guys do. Like they just seem to kind of hang around. But they do have similar uniforms and whatnot.
Ah, the cool guys.
As for the, well, the captain and the merchant and of course the militiaman. The militiaman at least you see helping sometimes, though not very often. The merchant, unsurprisingly, I'm sure, just hangs out in his cabin most of the time. The only time you see him on deck, he, well, seems to just be muttering stuff angrily about just about anything that he can be angry about, which appears to be almost everything. As for the actual captain, he's on deck about 50% of the time. The other 50% of the time, he seems to have squared himself away inside of his cabin and gotten raucously drunk from the sounds of things.
Good man.
See, attempting to reenact the Exxon Valdez oil spill.
Yum.
Yeah.
We commit a little bit of environmental damage.
So, at this point, you guys have both kind of gotten underway. Do you want me to just keep flipping back and forth? Which stuff is going to start happening at this point to both of you.
No, Mitch, only I get to play D&D.
Well, he said it first. Only he gets to play D&D.
No,
I follow
Well, yeah,
overboard,
let's
I
fucking
guess.
patch it up. Pack it up.
No,
Alright.
no. Yeah, you flip back and forth however you think is appropriate, or makes sense story-wise.
Story-wise, we just got freaking thrown way off course.
Which
All
one did?
roads lead to Rome, you know.
All roads lead to the end of a campaign, one way or another.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll just keep flipping back and forth. I'll just kind of keep an eye on the time. And try and be somewhat equal. So, yeah. I mean, are you doing anything to prepare, or are you just kind of getting what information you can and then heading out?
I mean, I don't have much need to prepare. I've been like a scout here for a while, so I should have a general idea of the land, so I'm more or less fine.
And I have no idea what's going on, so
Not the only one.
I'm prepared for anything. It's a loud sound.
That was the sound of the fucking storyline fracturing. It's hit the point where it's
I found
now
that so
audible.
funny, but
I hope you find it funny. It was a joke. It'd be a bit depressing if you didn't find it funny. Granted, that's how it usually goes, so won't be that surprising.
I know I should have I know I'd find it funny. I just don't know why I found it that funny.
Because
But
I occasionally make good jokes.
Thank you for making it anyway. So,
Hey, you guys set out.
Yeah, I figure we're either gonna die or it won't really matter what preparations they're made. It's like I can prepare by just leveling up a couple times. Unless.
but we have to complete like legitimate objectives to level up. And
No.
I've
I
done a
level up.
million reps.
I level
should
up right now.
Your upper body dings. That's it.
So,
You gain ASI, but you can only spend it in strength. Also isn't worth anything. You're thinking it's weird how you like literally just can't like work out to get stronger over the course of a while. Like if I spent a year working out, I would be the exact same strength until an actual objective was completed.
yeah.
Mm.
But strength, strength is just an emotional stat.
That isn't true. You're thinking of charisma or wisdom.
So, you travel towards well, at least the area that they're telling you that they're supposed to be in. It is going to be a fairly long run, as he has apparently shifted even further from when the last reports are out to being 3 days from this camp. So, gonna be a lot of territory to cross.
Well, the good news is crossing territories is one of my specialties. In fact, you could argue it's like my base specialty.
So, it's
Not one of mine, but
Well, the good news is it doesn't have to be one of yours because it's mine.
I'll be right back.
oh, really?
So, setting out, you guys do spot a couple more little of the scouting posts, effectively. At least that's what the militia have come to call them. A little tree plus extra. Freaking heck, why is it that my brain just immediately forgot the word breastwork, I suppose? In, like, the first half a day. After that, they cease existing as you move outside of the main defensive area. At that point, your scopes start lighting up with goblins.
Alright. Do what I can to avoid them, I guess.
Yep, I mean, it's not hard. They're all kind of split up into groups. Most of them at this range are mostly small groups. Well, small for goblins, anyway. Groups of like 15 to 20 or so, but they're easy enough to move around. Not even really all that stealthily.
Easy crap. That's why I said I'm better than most runners. Because I can just cheat.
So, yeah. The first day, you guys are able to push into goblin territory without having any issues. Unless, of course, Mo decides to just wander off on their own for some reason.
If Mo wanders off, Mo can stay
not yet.
off.
Not yet.
I'm not going back for Mo. I will actually just join the fucking army at that point. I'll re-enlist into the militia proper.
So, yep. What are you guys doing for the night?
Early warning systems and the same watch, at least for me.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Same shit for me.
Alright.
Can I use my knowledge of goblins to make traps specifically to fuck them up? Like all the traps swing at like neck height for them, which is just a worthless one on a normal person.
Sure.
Dumb. I assume you want survival?
Yeah, I'm gonna want to survival to see how hard they are to find.
God damn it.
I mean, yeah, you build traps that are good at attacking goblins. Unfortunately, you don't hide them very well. So, hopefully they're blind goblins.
I mean, given how goblins act, there's really like a 50-50 chance of that. I just need to get lucky and catch some of the stupid ones. Perception.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That was a
Perception.
good fucking roll. Still sub 10, but you know, fucking can't win them all.
These fellas taking up the last watch there. Fairly well. So, I'm assuming you guys are not setting campfires and whatnot, as that bad.
No.
Most starts, but someone points out that that's a terrible idea.
Most starts and I say nothing and kick it out.
Sad Mo sounds.
Yeah. Alright, this would have been like way easier for me if you joined the other two, because I could just travel stealthily alone.
Sorry.
No, I'm glad to have you. I'm just saying.
Just saying.
It's funny. Granted, if I got into trouble, I'd probably be in far worse trouble.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Yeah, who'd you have to throw a magic knife at them, if not for me?
Well, more specifically, who would I have to heal me when I get fucking crit? Because it's the first fight of a Mitchell session.
That's true.
It's the first round of the first fight of a Mitchell session.
Oh, my fault that the dice decided it.
I'm still mad. Every fucking game, viewers, you fucking have to crit me the first goddamn round of the first combat. Every time. And it's always enough to knock me out.
Yeah, I have no idea how you do it. Magic.
How I do it?
Yeah.
It's a curse that's only in your campaign. I think you're doing it.
Mo, do you have a tent? I don't remember off the top of my head.
No.
It's just that big rolled out in a while. I mean, how do you guys set up your camp? Are you just setting up tents and hanging out with the traps kind of set up around, or?
Yeah, try and find somewhere that's like kind of out of the way. Set up tent. Honestly, probably wouldn't even set up as like a proper tent. Probably set up more of just lean-to because then fucking be hard to see.
And easy to suddenly collapse.
Yep.
Do you think lean-tos just collapse on their own? What?
No, yeah. I mean, so you can collapse it if someone gets close.
Oh yeah, take it down quickly, yeah. Okay. When you said I was like, you realize lean-tos are like used a lot because they're useful, right? Like what the fuck? What are you talking about?
I mean, I don't know shit about lean-tos. I just pretty much just said that because I thought it sounded cool.
I mean, I don't think they're necessarily easier to take down than a normal tent, but they can usually put up faster. And they're usually because they have to be constructed next to something, like you'd use a tree or something, or a rock face. They are harder to see because they have something to blend in against.
Gotcha.
Yep.
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win.
Shout out to Spleen being like really easy to rhyme with stuff.
Shout out to Spleen for being fucking worthless. I think that's true. I think the spling is used in filtering blood.
Probably.
Yeah. Fucking, it filters out your shit, old red blood cells.
I need to remind myself to turn darkness down. This is not good. Yeah, that should be alright. So. That's...
So,
Oh, he does work.
Not bad. One image.
So far, nothing.
we set up a lean-to.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's this we?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
I mean,
I set up a lean-to.
That isn't even true. That's just a straight up lie. You know what, that's it. I'm traveling alone. Fuck you, I'll just leave in the middle of the night without saying anything. And because Mo is also short, he probably won't notice the traps. Mo gets fucking clotheslined by a fucking branch.
that's why my perception check didn't change, because I did the same height.
Yep. So, you can just set yourself wherever you need to be, Mo.
Just Mo.
I mean, you're the only one awake.
Eh.
That's his first watch.
First watch. We like... Oh, never mind. You can't go in a wall. Bushes.
I think that's a tree.
Tree. We're chilling
Yeah.
under a tree.
Can you not go into the tree? Really? There's walls there? Huh, yeah.
I can't go any farther to the right than here. Up or to the right.
Hmm.
Which is fine. It's
Weird map. Okay.
close enough.
So I probably would have just put that as like ethereal walls or something. Whatever. So you can like walk through it, but regardless. Yeah. You're keeping watch.
This is
And stuff
a
happens.
tight map.
Yeah, it's very small. Let's just kind of do.
Maybe that joke I made about just abandoning you in the middle of the woods wasn't a joke.
Well, I should find an easier way to make these things, but that's okay. It works.
Alright, so if a watcher shows up, we know we're on the right track. Have we also know that we're
Watcher
probably
shows up,
fucked?
you're dead.
Yeah. That's not necessarily true. I was able to outrun that other one.
Yes, that
Granted,
other
probably
one.
let me,
That
but
slow rock based
Yeah.
one.
yeah,
If we split up,
we don't know what type of watcher is going to show up. It could be slow, it could be fast.
All right. Let me just go ahead and here, actually, you go over here, so I can have a thing in my initiative pointer. Because it turns out stuff happens.
No.
As Mo, you are ambushed.
can't believe this.
My God.
That must have been while you were building that lean-to that he snuck up on you.
The goblins leap out from around rocks to attack you. Of course, they're magic-y powers, or at least some of them. They carry scimitars and, of course, have short bows across their backs, but these guys are just flinging magic. As it turns out that the magic is way more dangerous than their actual abilities to stab things.
Fair
I guess a
enough.
few of them do have their crossbows, their short bows out. So, well, let's just go around because they're definitely going to get a surprise round on you because they beat your freaking perception by a good margin.
Enough.
They actually rolled the opposite of what you rolled numbers wise.
I can't believe they rolled a 2.1.
Holy shit.
All right. So you're gonna get a bunch of a pair of firebolts and a couple of eldritch blasts aimed at you. 'Cause congratulations, you're the guard. They're attacking from hidden.
And they're so hidden we can't even see the attack rolls.
I still have it on self.
True.
It's gonna be like 8 nat 20s.
That's a hit. That's a miss.
Yeah, they're not that good. They're goblins after all. Normal hit. What a
Oh!
roll!
Dub.
This guy. Just kind of straight. Why are they rolling that? They're rolling it wrong. Yeah. So that should
Well,
be.
that misses if it's +2.
Nah, it's gonna be +5. I don't know why the heck it's rolling.
Oh, +5? Okay. That matches, which hits in 5th edition, right?
Yeah. So actually, that second shot hit you too. 'Cause it was rolling the same. Why the heck are you guys freaking
yeah.
basing your spellcraft off the wrong ability? Damn things.
I don't know.
And they're not
Goblin
actually
stupid.
proficient with their things. Because right, your spellcasting bonus is your proficiency bonus plus your ability bonus, right? I'm not
Correct.
misremembering it. Why the hell are these guys not? They don't get it, guys. What the hell? I don't get it. That's annoying.
Have you set their spellcasting on the character sheet?
I mean, I have, but they're not even getting their other thing. It looks like it's not adding their proficiency bonus.
Oh, so it's adding their spellcasting, but not their proficiency?
Yeah.
Weird.
Which is bizarre, but
That is bizarre.
let me see. I'm literally pulling these spells from the book, or from the not the book, but from our thing. So
Yeah. The only
annoying.
spell I have that's an attack I entered manually, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'll just have to fix it. These guys should be firing at +5 though with their magic.
Well, in that case, all
Yeah, so he
three have
does.
hit so far.
I'm just gonna say that the second Eldritch Blast missed. Sucks to be him.
Stupid.
Goblin should have played better.
Unless I have the option to shield, in which case none of these hit.
You are surprised, so
Yeah. D10 plus 1d10. 9.
yeah. You're doing a good job. Thing you need to actually roll the hit first. Okay. At least
That
you did.
will also hit.
Why
4
is it
more
it's not
damage.
freaking? I apparently did not set these guys up right. So they should be rolling with 2d10 because these guys are technically level 5. So
Oh,
8
damn.
damage for the guys.
8
Yeah,
damage. So
they get level 2 cantrips.
41.
And the other guys are going to go ahead and
30,
fire their short bows. Sharpo 1. Sharpo 2.
That will hit.
Sharpo
And that will also
3.
hit. That will also hit.
Wow, consistency.
3, 5, 4,
Yeah, those are correct, so.
7, 12.
Alright.
How are you looking?
I'm at 20 out of 51.
Good.
On the bright side, assuming they roll like this in the following rounds, they probably won't hit me again.
I know, they're freaking rolling terribly for an ambush.
All right. So initiative time.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah.
I have not been rolling particularly well today.
What the hell is initiative for freaking NPCs? I guess they just don't have it, so they just have to roll dex.
I think that's my fourth 3 and my third 5.
I thought I did roll for you guys, but apparently not. Well, apparently they were expecting that to go significantly better.
It's the
And with
kind of
this much
watches it
magic
just.
going around.
Oh no!
Yeah, with this much magic around, they're definitely waking you up.
Yeah.
So,
So how
Mo,
many of them are there?
there are 6.
6. I can only see 5, 4.
E. 2 of them shot you through the bush, basically.
Ah, okay. Are they like on the other side of this bush?
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't know why the heck this bush exists the way it does. Walls, you are being dumb. I'm removing you. Come on. Yeah, you should be able to see them now.
Alright.
They can see you, so.
And what the fuck is the... So you can only cast one leveled spell on your turn. Is that how it works, or is it...
Yeah. Unless you
Okay.
have Action Surge.
You cast a bonus action level spell. You cannot cast another leveled spell.
Okay.
Unless it's like a reaction.
Beep boop, beep boop.
Rawl does sleep in her armor because it's just leather.
Gotcha.
She'd probably sleep in her armor anyway.
She sleeps in her leather because it's armor.
No, she sleeps in her fur because it's fur. It'd be very annoying to get it off. And even more so to get it back on.
I'm gonna Shadow Blade at 3rd level myself.
Alright.
And
You're running over to hand it to her.
no, and then I'm gonna put Ward on her.
Alright.
Go
Gube will
get him,
be.
Rawl.
Alright. Anything else?
No, because that's all my actions.
Alright. Rawl is gonna wake up. It's going to get up and start to move towards the nearest group of goblins. Yeah. By the way, did you notice?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Diagonals
Angles?
actually exist.
Yeah, I did. I did when I measured this out, and then measured this out.
He's going to move that way and then dash to get into melee.
Diagonals shouldn't exist. It can't be.
She's not action surging out. So, I guess she can actually move. Yeah, she'll spend the rest of her movement to get between them. Raw's confident. So, Gube, you wake up.
I grab my gun and I fucking get out of the tent and I go, sure as a morning. Not even morning, by the way.
It's not even really the morning. This is the first watch.
Throw funny on this guy for more damage. And then attempt to blow that man's face off.
I wonder if they have a mark. Probably do have boards somewhere. Yeah, they do.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Alright.
You're definitely gonna freaking hit him.
Now we're not going to do anything special past the normal mark.
All right. He remains alive.
I'll try and shoot him again.
He's dead.
Let's see how dead, though. Mmm.
Negative 24
Very dead.
Oh, boy, that's very dead.
You had 1 hit point remaining after your first shot. Oh, this guy is super dead. Dead.
I bet this guy's very happy about what just happened.
Okay.
Alright. And we are actually going to move. Say, like here.
All right. Goblins. I need to remind myself what the heck this spell actually does, because I don't remember off the top of my head.
I'm so glad that first guy got it as bad as he did.
This is a very small map. Yeah. Goblin. Go ahead and move closer. Then going to go ahead and point at you, Guve, and in common, yell, "Drop!" You please make a, I believe it's a wisdom save. Let me check. Yeah.
Google. Power word kill.
That's good.
Oh, that
I
is
believe
good.
that's command.
It is command. As you all of a sudden just release your gun and let it drop to the ground.
That.
How funny would it be
bad.
if that was kill?
These guys can't have.
If that was fucking powered kill, I'd be very surprised.
Bye bye, Giphy. Bye bye.
And these guys are all glowing, of course.
Well, guess it's time for plan 2, Shank Rush.
This guy's going to go ahead and move up here. He's going to point one of, well, his offhand at you and go ahead and fire. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, don't just cast one of these.
Well, that's not good.
Which is probably not going to cast correctly. So it's whatever the die rolls, most likely plus 3 is what I'm going to bet.
Hey, bounty hunter.
No, it did actually
No,
roll
it did
for
roll right.
So
And it
Nice.
also misses.
Yee.
with that bastard McRed dead,
Right.
there ain't much else
Okay.
in the offing.
10
Not
feet.
that I'm complaining, mind you.
Oh, he's not able to quite get in combat with you.
Hi there.
Mm,
Haven't seen you around.
Yeah, he'll
before.
just go back.
What can
I'd
you
rather
Good thing you
not.
did that, because I was gonna just grab the gun and just shoot him point blank range in the face.
Yeah, these guys don't know you have that though, so
Yep.
they're
It's
making
fine, I've got a second
assumptions.
plan.
Sublight Salvage. They got an office on the far end of the promenade deck. Anything
Make
else I can
assumptions
help you
based
with,
on what
ma'am?
they can see, because they don't know player information.
June
This
Lake
guy's
Tyson.
going to go ahead
She
and take
runs the
another
ship. Does a
couple of
real
pot
good
shots
job
at
of
you,
it, too.
Mo.
Her
I
family's
hope it's
working with
actually
her
rolling correctly.
since it was
It
built,
is.
I think. Back
This
before
guy is
the
freaking
crossing.
rolling out of his mind into the goddamn ground.
They were not expecting the fight to go this long.
Well, like, this is gonna be a good ambush. We're gonna get it done, and then just everything goes wrong.
Whoever plays him just went, it's gonna be the sickest fucking ambush for a goddamn career. You don't even
Play
know.
this ambush. Us?
Alright, this cursed goblin's gonna go ahead and try and slash at roll. He's gonna miss. He's only gonna do the goblin funny of disengage.
I guess. In and out,
Whee!
though. Just try not to do any
As the other goblin is gonna do
Good
a
job.
frick you, I have magic missile in Rawl's face. Why did it roll once? Thing, seriously? Why is it magic missile freaking rolls this way?
That's a fucking pretty sick magic missile for rolling a single one. Imagine if you fucking went to cast a magic missile and only a single one came out. You just fucking give up. You just go, alright, this is not my day.
Oh, that's how it used to be. So that's 13 damage to Rawl, and then he's gonna do the same trick. Disengage, because we can use it as a bonus action. Rawl is still standing, easily.
Good
So-
job, Raul.
because Rawl suffers from being fighter levels,
There it is. Just yank the drive and I'll
along with a half-decent constitution. So she is good. Ah, God damn it! Yeah. Thing, are you just not calculating correctly? Do it this way. There we go. All right, Mo. The ambush doesn't seem to be going well for the goblins.
No. I will. Rogues can bonus action dash, right?
Yep. I think dash, hide, and
Yeah, dash, hide, and disengage, I believe, are the three.
yeah.
Bonus action dash.
A freaking enormous
Action.
goblin. You just get the goblin ability over again.
Don't consume the spell slot. Just cast it. Cast it. I did it.
Stab.
Stab. No.
That was a good stab.
And so
Goblin
ends
is able to
my
get out of the
turn.
way. All right. Where does Rawl want to go? So Rawl can make it to either of them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
working
guess
mostly.
you're dealing with that guy.
Yeah.
So
You're at least trying to deal with that guy.
Yeah.
He's gonna trust. We'll see if that ends poorly. We're gonna go ahead and not swing her longsword in blinds. She doesn't have a shield, so she has to swing it versatile.
Find out where that scholar I'm looking for ended up.
She doesn't have to, but she probably should if she doesn't have a shield.
Very good. Really good amount of damage. What did I set up her? Oh, right, yeah. Set up that one. Yeah, she'll go ahead and spend her action surge. Yay, playing NPCs against NPCs. How fun.
It's probably a good thing we have an NPC in this scenario, because we don't really have a front line.
Yep. I mean, it's good for you guys, but...
Our entire front line left.
And that is going to bring down that goblin. No, there we go. And then Raw is going to go ahead and activate her special I'm a freaking Kainu ability and activate Battle Fury. I should just tag as something that you can only do once a day, because it is only something she can do once a day. To rush towards another foe to stab it as well. Well, I mean, she killed one. Good job.
Nice. That's probably more than I ever will.
You're also a support caster, so that's not a deal for you. All right,
I'd like to pick up my gun.
Yep. Item collected.
What type of action is that? It's only move action, I think, right?
I think it's part of move, yeah.
Alright. Yeah, you know what? Fuck you. You fucking shot a guiding bolt at me, you piece. No, you were... You actually told me to drop it. Yeah, alright. We're gonna hit him with the funny. He gets the D6, and we'll attempt to shoot him.
You would shoot him.
And you know what? He made me drop my gun. I don't like him. I'm also going to try and make him afraid of me. But let's see if this just outright kills him. Nope.
Nope. Once again, barely alive.
Well, this is why we have 2 shots.
If you're here for this week's magazine club meeting, you're a touch late.
He's dead.
You know,
Dead.
Fantastic.
just for
Yeah.
posterity.
Be careful with it, dear, as these keys tend to be a tad hard to acquire. You should have a chat with Lilia Hagen
All
in the
right.
sublight offices.
Goblins.
She's a dear.
Oh, I should move up to
Mhm.
here.
Was there anything else?
Goblins are gonna go. This isn't going well. Run away!
Don't you fucking run from me!
He has to move around. These are rocks. So.
Anytime, sweetheart. You know
Run away! Disengage. Run away.
I'm gonna be able to set foot on a whole other planet. I know Monarch's a moon.
And Mo, same for you. He's gonna disengage and run away.
Bastard.
And anarchy. We'd best top off our ammo stock before we leave.
And there are no more goblins that come out of the woods.
All right then.
I believe our location is compromised.
I'm gonna go around and stab the dead goblins with the funny knife.
Yep. It doesn't seem to react to. Which ones are you stabbing first, second, third? Are you just going to the two
1,
nearest?
2, 3.
Okay. It doesn't react to the first guy at all. The second guy, it does react, and you get your little blood guy, who just this time, rather than just kind of forming and just kind of standing in the puddle, is actually going to follow you around a little bit. Not very much. He's only following the other goblin to watch as you stab him as well. And it does seem to gather in its blood as well. So it's not quite like small size. It's still like only the size of a pixie, but
still tiny.
Yeah. But it's still there. And
but there's now a funky little dude.
Yeah.
I'm sure Yakko would have fucking hated this thing. And with that, I'm gonna pack up the tent and fucking start heading out.
I mean, did you want to talk to the thing, or are you just stabbing it for fun's sake?
I don't really know how this works. And be like, so does stabbing these things like give you power, or is it just my way of summoning you if I want to talk?
Yes and no.
So stabbing them does provide a tangible benefit to you, yes?
Yes, but only those with more than just glimmers.
All right, guess we're gonna keep stabbing corpses then.
Welcome back, Captain. Now that you have acquired a nav key to Stellar Bay.
Yeah, if you don't have anything else to say, it just once again decontrols the blood.
Actually, there's one thing, which is I will ask if it is able to like help us in any way get through here undetected, or if that is outside of its purview. Because I know it does water stuff, but I don't really know anything else beyond that.
I need those chemicals to revive the Hope's colonists. They can
It
help us fight back against the
depends
Board.
on what
They
you
can help us set
need.
things right. If we don't put a stop to the Board,
To get to the next camp without having to do shit like this every night.
you'll see what I mean when you arrive on Monarch. You'll want to hire
I
the
don't
services of
have
a
the
skilled
ability
guide.
to make you
I
silent
recommend a hunter by the name of
or
Mioka. Frequents the drinking
unseeable.
establishments of Stellar Bay. Very hard to miss. Once you
Shame.
have everything you need,
That's Mo.
make your way to Hiram Blythe's compound.
I
just
stab
points
Mo. You have that
fingers
ability.
out.
He's got a bunch of magic in him.
Just looks towards Mo.
She's got a bunch of magic in her.
Best of luck. Everyone
Perhaps
is counting on you.
he does hold magic for certain.
You know what? I like Mo.
It
We're not gonna
wouldn't
test that.
call you she. Sorry, Mo. It would call you it. It doesn't care.
That's alright.
Yeah.
It's a weird blood dagger. It doesn't super care.
I got a thing I want to ask you. It's kind of
This
All it cares
weird
about
blood
is,
dagger
are
is
you
being
full of blood
disrespectful.
or no?
I'm gonna fucking dig a 20-foot deep hole and drop it in the bottom because they're being
after we went
disrespectful.
to the Lost Hope on the Groundbreaker. I reckon you're right.
I will just ask what it
I think I'm ready to
can
stop
do,
fretting
like some
and
examples.
fussing and ask Junlei
I
to go
have
steady,
limited
straight up.
control over water
thinking
and
of doing it here,
substances
on the ship.
similar. I could
kinda hoping he'd
hide
offer.
you in that sort
thing
of
is,
circumstance,
I guess
in mist,
this?
fog,
I
and
mean,
the
look at me.
like.
I'm all covered in engine
But
grease and I ain't
he just kind
showered
of
in how
gestures
many.
around.
Smell like
I
sweat most
like
days, and,
those
well,
things
don't look
here.
too close to my fingernails.
I suppose we'll have to hope that it gets foggy soon.
Hoping we could stop by
It just kind of
Groundbreaker for
pauses for a moment, kind of raising its arms in a kind of weight gesture, you guess. It's hard to tell because it's not really like a firm humanoid. It's just
Yeah.
a
Kind of an
bunch
amorphous humanoid blob.
Yeah.
Oh, that nice older lady in the rest
I
go, Miss
could
Gladys?
create a
She
fog
seemed to
of
know lots of
blood,
things.
but that
Maybe she knows where to
seems
find Professor?
counterproductive.
Yeah, I believe that will draw
I mean,
a significant amount of attention, in fact.
Or when you're heading through
But
Groundbreaker
that could be
again.
useful in a fight.
You don't gotta change plans on account of me.
It nods,
Anyhow,
and then just kind of
next time we dock in Groundbreaker,
desummons effectively.
because I want to come with.
You know, normally I would clean off the blade, but honestly, I feel like this guy will just be happier if I don't, so we'll just fucking put it back in the sheath. It's still bloody. I don't think this thing's gonna have to worry about rust.
I mean, it is actually fairly hard for the blood to stick to the blade. Surprisingly so, actually. You kind of figure that it probably would, but no, it just kind of slides off on its own.
Yeah, neat.
Yeah.
Right. We should probably relocate camp for a little bit.
Agreed.
You guys are able to relocate and are not bothered the rest of the night.
Nice.
So, Lumpy, are we going to have to see you off along with Theo?
I am currently still alive, much to my shock and horror.
God damn. And horror.
I guess we'll do a little bit more for you guys before we end. Because we started so late. Yeah. I'll try and keep it like 30 minutes, and flip back and forth.
Sure.
As close as I can, of course. Combat's going to make it hard.
Just in the middle of the combat switch. God, imagine if you have two combats that are switching every 30 minutes.
No, we're not doing
No, that'd be fucking,
obviously
that'd be amazing.
we wouldn't do that. We would just treat them as the same combat initiative-wise and go.
That would actually be fucking funny.
It would be funny, but super confusing.
Yeah, that's part of the fun.
Actually, it's not so confusing because I can actually set it up based on the map. So
yeah.
I just have you guys on one map and then them on another.
Why not?
Yes. Here.
Yeah.
There's a domicile on Monarch.
At the end of the first week, as you guys are traveling on the ship,
What better place to lay low
there
than just to
are,
avoid the
well,
authorities?
sightings of other ships in the area.
I admit it was a bit of a long shot, but when you've spent as many hours as I
Fair
have in
enough.
contemplation of the
In a
universe's
bad way?
secrets,
Or
you
just like
sometimes
people
get a
passing
sense for
by?
these things.
In a they don't currently have a flag out, so we don't really know who they are sort of way, which usually is bad.
Spicy.
Not always, but usually.
I'm gonna do a periodic yoga to keep myself ready.
Do you guys wear armor while you're working, or you just...
Yes.
Well, I start now. That's for sure.
Yes. So, yeah.
If I fall off the boat, guess I'll sink.
A true pirate. If I fall off the boat, I'll have the shortest time to die.
True. Deeper
So,
and faster.
Yep. Over the course of the day, there are more sightings as they kind of move in and out of sight. As they're not keeping quite close enough, but they're like kind of seemingly following you. It does seem to just be another ship, thankfully, and not one of the larger vessels that would cause greater issues. As I don't know if you guys know this, you might, but the Umpskins sometimes use large sea creatures as vessels instead. In fact, some of their settlements are on gigantic sea turtles, effectively. And when I say gigantic, I mean island-sized gigantic, not ship-sized.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, there's only a few of them, though, so and they're, you know, blatantly goddamn obvious because they're the size of an island.
I imagine they're hard to miss.
Yeah. They've also had certain stories where they actually freaking take on, like, other big stuff. And a few of them that have just dove into the deep and not come back. With all passengers.
Well, you know. That.
Yeah, it turns out they don't always remember that the passengers are there. It's just... It's all good for them.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember. There's a special name for it that Theo gave them, and I can't remember what the name is. Shoot.
What, the ships?
The turtles. I know they have a name, but I can't remember what they are.
Galapagos turtles? What kind of turtles are we talking about?
Here it is. I think I found it. Oh, Sturm turtles.
The
Like
Sturm turds.
STURM?
Be back in a moment after the bathroom.
Yeah. So the yeah, the two kind of known stories by most people that know of Sturm turtles, I have no idea. Of course, is the one that decided to dive after, you know, stuff happened. In this case, apparently the story is that all the moons were out. An event that no one can actually, like, collaborate on because no one remembers that ever happening. The other one was when one fought effectively what one would call a god. And, yeah. It ended poorly for both sides.
Gracious.
But those are, like, mythological tales, effectively. So no one's even certain that they happened in some ways.
I think I got just the thing, my dear. A few years back,
Wow.
Auntie Cleo's put out a
Eventually,
whole
the night
makeup,
comes.
and I snagged a couple for myself.
And you two are called up by the
scrubby brush,
militia
a nice
captain.
lotion, that sort of thing. I still got 'em too.
He doesn't really, like, have a real, like, cabin in the same way that the captain and the merchant do. He's just kind of, like, cordoned off a small area of the actual bunk area.
Bathtubs for such. Me included.
Like, you know, the Japanese, like, standing mat things? Or standing mat, the standing walls where you can kind of set them up. He basically has those. So he has, like, a little bit of privacy, but not very much.
Okay.
Pretty much every spot on Groundbreaker just smells like old
So,
socks.
yeah, he calls you guys into that little area and asks if you would be willing to stay up for the night. Just on the off chance that ship decides to do something.
Now,
Great.
if I
No
was a young
problem.
thing trying to come on all precious like, I'd probably go with Rosish.
They'll leave you a couple of other sailors that are, like, actually guards rather than sailors, but... Or at least, you know, or more marine.
Take your time, dear. A lady's scent says a lot about
It is mostly going to be you guys.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Because the ship does have to, have the majority of the day crew rest. He gives you some long list of excuses that apparently the captain gave him, that there's problems in the next couple days and whatnot, so...
I'll pay for that, man. Thanks for being so helpful.
Some sort of area that they have to pass through. That they're not going to get a heck of a lot of sleep on.
You know where to find me.
So, yeah. You guys stay up.
Yes, sir. I will percept with all my might.
You like
Yeah, you do. You do percept with all your might.
Holy shit.
And as feared, the ship does indeed come close enough to actually get a good look at it. And it does indeed seem to be pirates. In this case, the quote-unquote usual pirates rather than sanguine pirates. They're, like, kind of keeping close enough that they're within ballista range, but not close enough to actually board you for now. But it is still early in the night.
Fair.
we told to wake anyone up if they got closer?
No. You were told to hold the line.
Good.
Yeah.
Means there's no pressure to wake people up.
Yeah. You assume probably some of the sailors might do it if things get really bad, but no, the militia captain basically just told you, hey, if they attack, hold them off.
All right.
So,
Although if they start boarding, we're waking people up, right?
Hmm?
How close do we let them get before we actually do start waking people up?
Why are you waking people up exactly?
They try and board. But
Yeah, the people that are awake are going to be the ones fighting, you know.
Right, but wouldn't the people asleep want to
That's
wake
okay,
up?
Johnny. If you're afraid of fighting, you can go below deck when it happens. Maybe you'll even get kicked overboard for your troubles.
You see murder in my eyes.
yep. Along with you guys, you have another. It's basically 7 people, but one is mostly just kind of watching the wheel, and the other one is standing up in the. God damn, what the hell is that
Crow's nest.
called? Yeah, the crow's nest. The other 5 are like actually fighting. Like they have weapons and armor, even though their armor is mostly just studded leather. But they're at least seemingly more competent in comparison to the other 2. Or more just night duty as far as sailing goes. At around midnight, where the moons, which actually is a good question. How many moons are out tonight? Ooh, we have a full night. Come on. Yeah, it's 3 different ones. Good. So,
Curse Goblin
interesting.
Warrior. Picking the moons tonight.
Now,
Yeah.
this is a wild
I don't know
wasteland.
why.
Danger and adventure
But
sure
okay.
await us.
I like it. It's funny.
It kind of makes sense for them. So, yeah. Mostly orange and purple with a very bright moon of necromancy out. Which is probably bad if they have any wizards on board, because their evocation is going to be more potent.
Spicy.
And yeah, as I was saying, around midnight, as the 3 moons are highest in the sky, they do indeed move close enough to start throwing boarding hooks, I suppose. I think that's what they're called.
Close enough to shoot at?
Yeah. At that point, they're definitely close enough to shoot at.
I start chopping the ropes on the boarding hooks.
I mean, they, like, the other crewmen are also trying to do that, but they threw, like, 20 over and followed them almost immediately, so.
Chop, chop. Fast as possible.
Yep. I mean, they're ropes. They're not, like, the big honking, like, chains that you see in some fantasy settings.
Yeah.
So you do send a couple between you and the other crewmen. Send, a few of them down into the water. They're basically out of the fight. But you do have a good, 15 pirates that land on your ship, weapons drawn. And of course, as a cherry on top to having, outnumbered almost 3-1, you also see a person just kind of float over and stand on the railing next to her group. And, yeah, if it wasn't blatantly obvious this person was a wizard, she's at least dressed up for it, or at least some sort of magic user. As she has long, flowing purple robes with what looks like fire patches in the light.
Well, that looks like a wizard to me.
Yeah. She just kind of looks at, well, your rather meager defense. I thought I'd just come over and say hello, since we were traveling in the same direction.
I chuck a javelin and say, hello.
Do you actually attack her?
Why not? That's
Go
what we're
ahead.
here for. Maybe I'll burn a... Oh, shit.
Well, you hit her. She's not burning a freaking shield on something she
Well,
can't freaking block.
If you weren't planning on fighting us, I guess you're probably going to.
I mean, yeah, you injure her, though it is a fairly, fairly minor wound, even though you did strike her fairly well. He kind of looks over at you guys.
Ship off.
I was willing to talk, but I suppose we can do things the hard way. It's fun sometimes.
Nice one, Johnny.
I agree.
She's gonna fireball you. Could you please make an evasion, make a dex save?
I like how
all of you, of course, not just Johnny. Fireball is fireball. It's just Johnny that happened to be the one that brought it on your head.
I like how me and Gve, we get ambushed by 5 goblins. You guys get ambushed by like a warlord and a wizard.
Warlord hasn't shown his face yet. You don't know he's there. Might be a wizard only crew.
Yeah, the wizard's the captain.
And she's gonna go ahead and throw it.
Warlord could be a wizard. What I meant to say was a war band, but
yeah, pirate.
Theo's stumbled into making Mitchell divulge something.
I'd hope it'd be fairly obvious.
I don't know what you mean.
Go ahead and yoink. It's fine. I'll just have her base it on something. I'm going to guess that this isn't surprising that you both fail. That was kind of a lukewarm freaking fireball, too. Lukewarm. Can look at the numbers. Never mind.
Also, I'm taking some bravery.
I would hope so. Well, a lot of your freaking friends just went down. One freaking hero actually takes it on the chin and is still standing. You rolled a freaking nat 20.
5d20? Oh, I gotcha.
Those
Makes
are the
sense.
saves.
I was like, what the fuck, Mitchell? What
Freaking
kind of
heck, every
crazed
one of those
wizard is
guys-
this?
Every one of those guys rolled like absolute garbage. Except for that one guy who rolled 20. All right. Yeah. How much bravery do you need to take?
I dropped to below half, I think.
I did not drop to below half.
Yeah. So, Yakko and Johnny. Freaking heck, Johnny. You just freaking take a fireball and go, yeah, whatever. What else do you got?
No, I'm not whatever. I hurt. No two ways about it.
I mean, half your crew well, more than half. Almost all of your crew. You got one guy left. She just kind of looks at you guys. Willing to reconsider?
Hey, for the record, he was the one that threw the javelin, not me. I will just sheath the sword.
For the
And I
record,
don't
we were told to hold the line unless they're too scared to fight.
I don't feel like dying for nothing. If you want to fight, go right ahead. Go on.
What if it's like, I didn't throw the javelin and she just fireballs you?
I cast hold person on her.
Sure.
I'm gonna be right back.
I'm going to, while Johnny is doing this, I'm going to turn to the other person that is conscious and just go, You should probably put down your weapon. I don't think it's worth dying for.
Let me see, actually.
Oh, and
How is he feeling right now?
It shouldn't be. That should not be a 13 wisdom.
It should be higher than that, shouldn't it be?
this
My
one should be
spellcasting
minimum
should be
like 14.
wisdom based because it's clericy.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's saying it's charisma based.
Well, what's your wisdom mod?
+2, so it should be
Then it should
14
be
save.
it should be 13.
13?
Is our proficiency +4 or is it still +3?
No, it's supposed to at this point.
Yeah, it's still +3.
Oh, I was totally calculating wrong. For some reason I thought it was like 10
proficiency
plus
mod.
10 plus proficiency plus mod. Yeah, okay, yeah.
No,
So then
yeah.
that is correct.
Mm-hmm. I need to remind myself. What is... Why is it I don't remember what the proficiency bonuses for saves thing? There we go. Is that what I'm remembering? No. It is not. Right. Yeah, the other crewman is going to definitely agree that it's probably his best interest to not.
Let's go see if any of these other people that blew up are okay.
She is held.
I'm gonna.
Dub?
How far is she from me?
Behind a group of pirates. Remember, she's like standing on the railing behind all of the pirates that just boarded. So in front of her, there's only like 2 of them, but you still have to get past them.
In front of her is only 2 dudes.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, can I sprint and like push her over the edge?
Not without like running through them. Unfortunately, the freaking wizard remembered they were a wizard and decided to throw idiots in the way first.
Just fucking full tackle her off the fucking boat.
What if I chuck a spear at her to knock her over the edge? I could action search to do that.
You can try, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like she's gonna be able to fucking shift her weight to not like fall.
Yeah, and I'm gonna chuck a spear to try and knock her into the sea.
Go ahead. Well, you hit her. Roll damage.
I'm back.
Oh.
Yeah, she starts to... Oh, sorry. She would start to, actually. Let me see. I need to check something.
Check how the spell she has active works.
Well, okay, yeah, no. Yeah, no. She starts to fall into the freaking sea.
You got fucking extra attack. Throw another.
Throw
another. Send her over.
Then I'm gonna second wind and flip off Oyeko.
So the pirates are gonna go. 2 of them are gonna dive in after her. The others are going to freaking pile onto you. How many of them can reach? I guess if they're willing to take out an opportunity attack, one of them can. They can just swap out and just hit you. All of them can hit you. So yeah, let's just see how many hit you. Because they're willing to have an opportunity attack for the chance of just beating you to freaking unconsciousness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
What are their modifiers? Is it me?
I think he knows your AC, so he's
Yeah, I know what your AC is, so.
21?
Unless you're gonna cast shield, in which case that changes how many hit.
I don't have shields.
Then
I'm not an Eldritch Knight, I'm an Aura Flame. I cast from the cleric spell list.
They're gonna hit you. So all of them together are going to hit you for 44 damage.
Alright. That hurts. And I get to hit one with an attack of opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Sick. Slice, demon.
Dang, these guys only do get 1 attack per round, though, at least.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
miss.
they're normal pirates.
Come on up. Come on up. Good dog.
These guys are the grunts. They're not like super good. Actually, only 2 of those. Well, I guess you got missed a whole bunch.
By the way,
anyway.
are the people that failed the fireball save unconscious or just straight up dead?
They at least have a +8 to hit though, so they're not that bad.
Yeah.
That's my.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the damage. Yeah, they're at least only unconscious at the moment, but they're kind of surrounded at the moment.
What was this ship setup?
Well, remember, you guys were kind of all clustered against the pirates, so you guys were against like 2 lines effectively. So she just blasted your guys' group.
Right.
So they're kind of at the edge of the pile of pirates, attempting to freaking knock Johnny down.
Speaking of which, I'm now at less than a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will be spending the time going around healers kitting the unconscious folks.
I believe you have 7 concentration
think...
to make.
Yeah, it's true. You do have 7 concentration checks.
Yes, I sure do, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Concentration saves or checks?
Saves.
Is there a difference?
Well, a concentration check is a
charisma
con save.
Yeah.
How do I do this more than once?
Just spam the button. Or just roll 10d20
Yeah,
and see if any of them...
7d20, not 10.
Above 10, yeah.
7d...
Plus whatever your mod. Yeah, so
and my mod is +6.
Oh.
So you're fine.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
And you used up all your good rolls too.
Yeah, fuck. That was a lot of good rolls.
That'd be a crazy good stat rolls if you drop the lowest one. You have a 4 and then only good stats.
This is how we should roll stats. You should roll 7d20 and you should drop.
I did this actually as a test for Leo's game once. He didn't actually end up going through with it, but my stats were really funny. I had a 20 and a 1.
20s are all over.
I would be very glad to see a 3, a 5, a 3, a 3, a 5, and a 3.
Here, observe.
Yeah, no, it won't be. They're just gonna do the same thing. Pile on, try and slap you a bunch.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's a very funny stat line.
Right? It's so good.
Average, yeah, average.
Only 3 of them hit you this time, though.
We take those. All right, I'm down. The last one gets me.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't even
luckily
have a chance
for you,
to
they do only knock you out.
That's
unfortunately for fireballs, you don't really have a choice. But and the pirates are going to assist with the healers kitting, though they're not bothering with healers kits. They're just doing it the old-fashioned way.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, capturing the guy in the crow's nest is just in the crow's nest, so they just position a couple of guys near the bottom of the area you can get down. The others are going to go ahead and round up the others and round up the guy holding the wheel and block the door down into the hold.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're gonna strip your sword, Johnny. But why the heck did my brain immediately go to Raleigh? Freaking heck, brain. Wrong campaign.
Yeah, that campaign's been out of business for a while as well.
So
different character, but not like as different as you might think.
I mean, pretty different.
No, I think it's pretty different.
We're like different classes.
Depends on how different you think.
I don't know. I guess from my perspective, it's they don't
all
seem
fighters
that
are
different.
the same.
Yeah.
Even though one was a battle master and was a good person.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like there's a much bigger difference. Not relating to class.
He's a good person ostensibly, but there was like the whole fire thing.
Yeah, true.
And just like anyone in trouble.
Like the very 2 sessions worth of the campaign, he lit my mother on fire.
Yeah, and it did seem like
he didn't really get over that.
If someone was in trouble, like on the street, like it just walks right past that.
You remember they does not walk right past that, right?
I don't. All I remember is just anything happening, is just like we just walked past it. I'd be like, but there's a no, we're leaving.
I feel like I was more of that than he was.
That's what I remember. But
because
Yeah.
Z was kind of just a piece of shit.
Maybe I usually what I remember is like Rally wouldn't go, you'd go 10 feet and then try and drag me back.
I'm wondering what this is in relation to. Theo.
I feel like this sounds like it was a specific event, but I don't remember this one.
Well, I mean, there was a couple things. There was like the crazed wizard just shooting people.
I don't remember a crazed wizard shooting people. That's been completely lost in time for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, obviously, you guys didn't. They were goblins. You guys didn't consider them people, but
I remember that. That was great. You guys didn't get involved in it at all.
Yeah. If it was goblins, then that's out of my hands.
Like you
And
know
the-
the kid with the spot, like the not the spyglass, the magnifying glass with ants. That's basically what that encounter was.
Yeah.
High level wizard just going around zapping goblins.
Yeah, if it was a high level wizard anyway, I'm not getting killed by that shit.
I mean, high enough to have like fly
Yeah.
and fireball.
And then there was like a dungeon. I finally figured out how to open the door, I think, and you just dragged me out. But like, what's his face never went in the dungeon. He was like, nope, not going in there.
That was one of the little tower things I think that you and Nor went off on alone.
Question, was this before or after you guys unleashed the ice dragon? Because if it was after, I feel like I had a reasonable precedent as to why not to let you guys go fuck with shit.
I think this was Nor sitting in his box era. Like I think it was me and you went in there.
Okay, I think North singing in his box era was after the dragon, so I feel semi reasonable about that.
Because it nearly killed both of them.
Yeah.
Dragon. But regardless, they're going to demand your sword or demand you be tied up.
You can tie me up as long as I can keep the sword.
Yeah, they're fine with that. I understand. Like, surprisingly, they understand.
Appreciated.
Yep.
They throw you overboard.
You're allowed to keep the sword, but you must go into water with your hands tied. Good luck.
I would take that over giving them the sword.
So, yep. They line you, you, Johnny, the other guy, and the unconscious people up against the, the opposite railing. And then just kind of hang out for a few minutes. Until, of course, the now very waterlogged mage is pulled back onto the deck. As the two guys that dove after her and a couple of the guys that got knocked down in the original boarding action climb up the ladder that one of them tossed over the side.
Mm-hmm.
He does not seem pleased.
Hello.
Yeah. You hear her muttering in some freaking language that sounds like it's freaking brimstone. And casting glances at Johnny a few times. You actually see a couple of them like kind of standing around and quietly going, don't do it. We're not here for that.
Do I hear them say that?
Yeah.
Let the
I mean,
record state
they're
if you kill that guy,
whispering, but they're not
we won't
whispering.
care.
Her eyes gleam, and the other pirates have to redouble their efforts after that.
Oh yeah, go do it, you pussy, do it.
Let me see, actually. Let's have her make a wisdom save to see if she's actually... Oh, no. It's a good thing, Johnny, you're selected. Yeah, the pirates are unable to convince her. Ayeko, unless you actually stand in frickin' Johnny's defense, this is going to kill Johnny.
Yeah, I
Oh,
have zero
no.
reason
Why
to
would
defend him.
Oyeko stand in his defense?
Yeah.
I know.
I tried
Oyeko
to kill him in
directly
the
caused
woods.
this for a reason.
So, yeah. Johnny, you're awoken as someone dumps a healing potion in your mouth. And then you feel yourself be picked up off the deck. By the way,
Alright.
you do see one of her fingers just kind of fall off as she is just kind of picking you up over the deck and then out into the water.
Am I still tied up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're
Still
not
got
doing
my
that much.
Yeah, I still got my armor on, I assume.
Yep, of course you have your armor on.
Bye
What
bye.
other way to
Sink like
give
a
you
fucking-
freaking
Bye bye.
I
cement
said you're
all
gonna sink
over
like
you?
a stone, but honestly, you're probably gonna sink faster than a stone. You're sinking like a man in full plate.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You see this freaking wizard completely soaked and absolutely furious. Do you have anything else to say for yourself before I drop you for the beast to consume?
No.
Johnny just accepts his doom.
To be fair, Johnny definitely goes out like a Chad, laughing in the face of someone who's gonna kill him.
Oh. And yeah, at your laugh, apparently it's not fun enough just to freaking drop you. She does slam you into the side of the ship to freaking knock you out and then just drop you into the abyss. And yeah, you drown. There's no coming back from that, unfortunately.
No doubt. I would not campaign for it.
Mm-hmm.
I would campaign for it just because I think it'd be funny for Johnny to show back up later and Oyeko to just be pissed.
Yep.
That would be extremely funny if, like, a week
my-
later,
yeah,
Johnny
my
just climbs
campaign,
over the edge.
My campaign goes like this. Imagine how fucking funny it'd be, Mitchell. That's the beginning and end.
On that note,
so
I'm glad
Lumpy,
I stayed
you
up,
do
but I really need to fucking go to sleep.
Yeah, I'll be ending it in a moment here.
That's a wonderful.
So Theo, yeah, you could
moment
go
to end on.
because we're done on your end.
Good luck. Don't die. Stop recording.